In 5,
4.
Hi, Brandon.
Hi, Mike.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm tired.
Me too. Nice mic, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Be nice if my mic stand didn't break.
You've got 2 of them built right into your body, right here.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm holding it today.
And it only sounds funny when you move your hands. Can I hear everything like this? Right.
I'll just sit like this.
There you go. Don't breathe because it's going to go up and down. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Here, maybe if I don't actually hold the body of the mic and I just hold the stand part.
There you go. Welcome to episode 59 of the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast, which is, by the way, Brandon, I don't know if you knew this, the #1 law enforcement / woodworking podcast in Lagos, Nigeria. We're the number one downloaded podcast.
I don't know how to do a Nigerian accent.
I don't know how to either. It's a coastal city, though, so I'm sure people are speaking English there.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, how about that?
It's really hard to understand if
Lagos.
They didn't speak English.
Lagos, Nigeria. Thanks for listening to the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast. I'm Mike Marrazzo. That's Brandon Silveira. And Brandon titled this episode 59, Feeling Fine. We are feeling fine.
It was low-hanging fruit.
Feeling
fine. Like I told you, I feel like a truck hit me.
Well, before we get started, I wanted to say thanks to our sponsor, Surf Prep.
Brought to you by surfprepsanding.com. No, you said Surf Prep Sanding. God damn it, Mike. Get it right. It's surfprepsanding.com.
.com is not in their name. That's if you're going to look at the website.
If you're going to order some shit, you're probably going to need to go to surfprepsanding.com, are you not?
That you're going to have to do.
And enter promo code BOOK'em.
BOOK'em, spell it.
BOOK'em.
BOOKEM. Book them for 10% off. And I have one of the sanders right here with me. Oh, this thing weighs a ton.
Totally expected you to knock over a ton of that sandpaper.
Why? Are you saying I'm a klutz?
You're saying you're a klutz. I didn't say it.
All right. This is my orbital sander from Surf Prep.
Is that the 5 or the 6-inch?
This is the 5-inch.
Okay.
I don't know why I needed a 6-inch.
Size matters.
I guess it does. This works fine for my needs. I've got Surf Prep paper on here, as you can see. This is regular 220 paper that goes on. Oh, I love that sound, by the way. As you can see, the Surf Prep sander on the bottom has 5 exhaust ports. So their paper has 5 holes. You can use other grit sandpaper or other manufacturer sandpaper on their products, but they don't work as well. You can
use other grits? You don't have to just use 220?
You're funny.
I am. It's one of my redeeming qualities.
Uh-oh. All right, so Brandon saw this in the background earlier. These are the foam pads for the orbital, and they come in different sizes. And when you buy your sander, if you
this
get
is
the
riveting stuff for the people that just listen to the audio.
Yeah, I know. But if you get the full kit, you'll get some sample packs of these. Look at how thick these pads are. So Brandon was saying that the one he has contours to what you're sanding, as does the orbital.
Just
also
like
contours.
The banner right behind Mike, where it demonstrates the contouringness.
You know, it's funny. Every time I go up,
Hannah's going to listen to this, and she's like, "I need to send these idiots some coffee. They cannot do this."
Every time I go into my dining room, this past fall, I was finishing the kitchen with the wainscoting and chair rail and stuff, and I wrapped one around into the dining room. I had to cut a piece of the dining room chair rail and then piece 2 together. And I still need to take my Surf Prep 3x4 and sand it down smooth because there's a little bit of a lip, when you put them together. So I still have to do that, and I'm reminded every time I walk in my dining room that I need to do that. But I thought I'd give you...
You should do that then.
Yeah, I know. I got all kinds of stuff to do. So here's the sander. It's got an on-off button right here. It makes a little cool beep, like Brandon said. It's not plugged in, as you can see, so you're not going to hear the beep. And it's got 3 speeds.
Slow, medium, and fast.
Uh-oh.
And Mike's knocking shit over.
All right, here we go. So thank you to Surf Prep
who
for
had
sponsoring this episode.
3 minutes and 30 seconds into the show?
Before Mike breaks something?
Yeah.
I had that. I'm on the text. All right. So, Brandon.
Yes.
How was your week in the shop, if you had anything to do in the shop?
Let's see here. So I got one flag painted all the way with the MTN brand paint. And that thing looks real good. So
What kind of flag is it?
it's an American flag.
So is it red, white, and
Yeah, it's
blue?
just red, white, and blue.
Okay.
And it looks, I was curious to how everything was going to look on it. Man, that thing looks crispy. And now I got to go and when I paint flags, I use the Cricut to do the stars.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because if I use the laser, it's going to have a little bit of a burn look to it. And then that looks funny compared to the bright white stripes.
Yeah, if you don't have burned stripes, that's not a good mix.
So I got to get those stars cut on the Cricut machine here after we're done, and then finish staining the other flag.
How big are these?
They're the 3-footers.
Okay.
What is it, like 19.5 by 3 feet?
Now, I do it. It's actually the true measurement, 19.5 by 37. But to save wood, do you make them 36?
It's 36. That's the true size.
Whatever.
I'll pull it up right now. When I first started doing flags, I went to the official flag website through Google, and it gave me all of the dimensions.
Got it right here.
Yeah, that you've written in 37.
No, this was the dimension.
You've written in everything.
Look, it's right here.
Just because you write it in
doesn't make
doesn't make it the official site. For Christ's sake, Mike.
What is 3 feet 1 inch? What's 3 feet 1 inch? Look, here's the official. I printed it right from Google off my phone.
Hold on.
From the American flag website. 3 feet 1 inch is 37 inches. Even Uncle Deli used to tell me it was supposed to be 37 inches. And what he would do is he'd buy a 6-foot piece of wood and cut them at 36, minus, the kerf for the blade, just to save wood. Riveting. People that are listening here don't have no clue what's going on.
That's fine.
Brandon is searching his phone because I just showed him what I printed out from my American flag website, where you type in the flag, the size you want.
Yeah, it says 36, 19.5 by 36. That's, what is it, omnicalculator.com.
I have a different American flag calculator.com. So anyways, you got 3 flags.
Punch you right in the nose.
Punch you right in the face. In the face.
So I got to finish those and then get those packaged up and then say a mini prayer and ship those off to Washington.
Who's shipping them for you?
Pirate Ship? I always go through Pirate Ship.
Yeah, Ship Nerd used to give me pretty good pricing. I used to compare all 3, Pirate Ship, Ship Nerd.
Yep.
And then regular USPS. And sometimes on really heavy stuff, Ship Nerd is the key. But if it's normal stuff, Pirate Ship, you can't beat them.
Yeah, I used to compare all 3, and it was always Pirate Ships, and then I just stopped looking at the other 2.
I still pull them up and I go, what am I looking for? It's
like, why am I doing this?
Right. It's
I already know what it's going to be.
Pirate Ship.
Yeah. So I got to get those sent out because those are closing gifts for my buddy's clients.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And that's pretty much all I've been up to.
Okay.
Not a lot going on.
I started posting again on Instagram on my stories.
I saw that.
It's been so long, I forgot how to do it. So
just click record.
Yeah, and then so did some stories.
It says the guy that never posts anything.
I haven't posted since December. Matter of fact, the last few posts on my page were done by the Maker Collab.
Mm-hmm.
they posted some stuff that I did with Delhi for the jungle. What the hell was that?
What was it? Jumanji?
Yeah, Jumanji stuff. And then I posted one flag like 6 weeks ago. But I've been recording some stuff and taking pictures that I'll start posting. I miss when Instagram used to just be photos. Just post a picture of your work. What are you working on? What is it? Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, we got to do videos. And
Now you got to be kooky
viral.
and wild and goofy.
Yeah, I just want to post pictures. So
I just want to show you the shit I'm doing.
Right.
That's
and if
pretty
you have
much
any
it.
ideas on how to improve me, let me know.
I don't even want to hear that. Just tell me tell me I'm pretty.
Okay.
Just tell me it looks nice.
So I have been down here working on 2 flag orders myself that I was telling you about, and I got them all stained up the last 2 days, numbered. They're all ready to be glued up, but I spent literally, I feel like, who's the guy who doesn't get old? Rob Lowe. If you've seen him in Parks and Recreation, this is literally the best, or this is literally the hardest image I've ever tried to work on in Vectric V-Carve. So I imported this logo from the ITEA, Illinois Truck Enforcement Agency, or I keep saying agency. Association.
I mean, association's kind of like an agency.
Kind of. And I bitmap traced it, and none of the lines came out at all. There's like circles that like piece together, like jigsaw.
Yeah.
I spent 4 hours doing this whole image. So then I mocked it up, and with Vectric V-Carve, you can pick your material type, right? Including plastics and stuff, and color, or natural oak or poplar or whatever, or you can have a solid color. But what you cannot do is do a mock-up of one stripe painted or stained, one stripe burned. You can't do that. So what you do is you have the size of the piece, and you pick the main color that it's going to be like in the union. So which is black in this case. And then I did a test engrave, and it renders what it's going to look like. And it shows you the material color. Once you do the engraving, it'll show you what's underneath it if you don't want to show it with paint on it. So I just left it as, oak looking or whatever, brown wood. And it's up in the corner where it's supposed to be, but I took a close-up image and saved it, because you can save your previews. And then I took a far version away where it's up in the corner, and I sent it to the client and said, listen, here's what it'll look like up close. Here's what it looks like where it's going to be on the flag. Before I engrave it, this is the best I can do with it. Let me know if you want a color or if it looks okay. So then he sends it to one of the people on the board, who then sends him back a message. It looks like it's really small. Is it actually in the union? Is it like taking up the whole union, or is it up in the corner? And I'm like, I explained the view when I sent it, and I wanted to reach to the computer. I'm like, it takes up as much of the union as possible. It's not going to be as wide as the union.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the center of the union, but it's also going to be in the corner of the flag where it's supposed to be, because that's where the union is. I don't know how else to explain it to you. So
maybe it confused him because when you were showing the whole flag, it's just in the spot where the union is, but it was all one color.
Yeah, I think that was the problem.
Maybe he can't use his imagination or common sense to go, oh, that's where the union would be.
Right. I'm thinking that's what it is, because, hey, I wonder if I can do something here.
I bet you that because I've seen people that they'll use their CNC just to carve an entire flag. Like they'll just cut the piece out, whatever size they want the flag to be, and then they'll completely paint it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll use their CNC to carve out all the stripes and everything.
Oh, yeah. If I had a 4-foot CNC, I would do that.
So what I'm saying is you could probably mock that up in Vectric.
Oh, I got you.
To give a better, I guess, visual for dum-dums. I'll call him a dum-dum because he's not my client. And you can't do that because he's your client. So I'll call him the dum-dum.
I definitely cannot do that.
So for dum-dums like that, who can't use their imagination or common sense to go, oh, that's the entirety of the flag, and then that's where the union is.
I'm trying to do something here. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
What happened?
I don't know. You did something.
I wanted to show you.
Oh, you're sharing your screen.
I'm trying.
Well,
I can't
you're doing it. I
minimize.
can see your freaking mouse moving.
Oh, yeah, okay. I can't
Fucking A.
minimize.
All right, we've reached the point in the show where technology and Mike do not mix. So let's just all go along for the ride for you people watching on YouTube, and
No,
for the
I'm
audio people,
stopping.
I'm sorry.
I'm stopping because it's not working. So there we
Well,
go.
you have to. And now we're clicking emojis. Cool.
I wanted to show
If
you
you want
the
to show
rendering.
something, show it. You
It
just have
won't.
to minimize.
It won't let me minimize the screen, so I don't know
Okay.
how, and I'm not
Do
going to
you
mess
have
with
it
it.
go? Do you have it in full screen right now?
Hmm?
Okay, take it out of full screen. We're going to walk you through this, Mike. Go out of
I
full
don't.
screen.
I don't know how.
Hover your mouse
Like
in the
this?
top
Grid view.
of your screen.
There's an X up there.
Don't click the X. There should be some sort of minimize button.
You know what that X was? Let everyone know they're being recorded. You're being recorded. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's no minimize button up on my screen, so it was good while it lasted.
Click the escape button, or just not click the escape button. Push the escape button on your keyboard.
On to the rest of the show. So I've got those two flags going, and then I started painting all the border trim for the NFL signs. So
I'm starting to think that you have ADHD.
I might. I take medication for it.
Or you're autistic.
That's called. I'm a really good driver. Dad lets me drive in the driveway.
237 toothpicks. 14 left in the box.
14 minutes to Wapner. So, yeah, that's all I got going on. Flag stuff, and then painting these NFL signs. And then after the Chiefs one yesterday, I am doing a Chiefs, sign for my buddy Mike. And I don't know, I didn't put any area where I can add Super Bowl champions. So it's just going to be the Chiefs thing.
That's what I was thinking about doing. I'm thinking about doing it like just a Chiefs one, and then on the background also making a little plaque that says like Super Bowl 50. What was it? 57?
57 this year. Yeah, but
champions.
Then what was the one they did? Like
we don't talk about that one, Mike. That's a low blow.
Sorry.
Do I need to bring up?
Guess who won
Cowboys?
Man of the Year? Did you hear Dak getting booed when he accepted his Walter Payton Man of the Year? Those asshole fucking fans in Arizona. Well, they hate him because he beats them.
I mean,
I
have no retort to that. I mean, I don't know what his career record is against the Eagles.
Not the Eagles, the Cardinals. They weren't. Well, I guess those were also Eagle fans.
Do you really think that Cardinal fans spent thousands upon thousands of dollars? One, do you think Cardinals fans have thousands and thousands of dollars of disposable income? I'm amazed what makes Philly fans did.
What?
Arizona Cardinal fans are trash, except for one. There's only one that's good, and I love him.
Why do you say that? Who hurt you? Who hurt you that's a Cardinal fan?
No, because the Cardinals, every single year, it seems like, will have a trash team, and somehow they will figure out a way to just fuck up the day for the 49ers. For like 5 years, that's all this fucking team does.
Well, you don't have to worry about J.J. Watt anymore.
I know.
Unfortunately.
Which is too bad, because I really like J.J. Watt.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. All right, so that's it for my shop talk. Flags and NFL signs and screwing up the picture on the screen.
Yeah, I'm debating how big I want to make this Chiefs thing. Like, I don't really know any Chiefs fans.
I'll buy it from you if you make a bigger one. Are you going to scroll saw it?
That's what I'm debating. Because if I make it a little bit bigger, I'm going to have to scroll saw it because, one, my laser won't cut MDF.
Oh, yeah. Plus, you don't want cutting MDF.
Yeah, I do. I don't like it. It would be quicker than me scroll sawing it, and I wouldn't have to sand as much. As much as I enjoy using my Surf Prep sander, if I can minimize the time that I have to spend sanding, I will do that.
Yeah, you know what happens when I use the MDF on the CNC? When I get it ready for paint, I put wood glue on the end grain.
Yeah, I use sand sealer.
Yeah, you said sanding sealer. That's oil based?
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to pick some up.
So it's probably easier. That works pretty well
than gluing with my finger.
It just takes a while to dry, and that's annoying.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I put that on there and then sand that, and it gives it a really nice edge.
Okay. Do you also put it on the top of it as well, or no?
I have, and I use less primer, but it kind of depends like how quickly I'm trying to get the damn thing done.
Right, because you have to let it sit for a couple of days after you put the.
Not a couple days, but
No?
longer than I want.
Okay. I
Whereas if I
also
just put the primer on, like that's the other nice thing about the MTN brand stuff. Like, dude, this stuff dries in like 15 minutes. It's amazing.
if I didn't have 40 cans of, Rust-Oleum 2X in my paint cabinet, I think when I start needing to replace colors, I'm trying to paint yellow now for the Packers
Yeah.
sign, and I have a full can of paint, Rust-Oleum 2X, that I just opened, and I sprayed maybe a quarter of it, and now it's fucking not spraying. So now I
Yeah.
got to throw it away and buy another whole new can.
You don't. Clean the tip.
Yeah, I've done it. That's not. It's like the propellant isn't propelling anymore. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
was it the MTN? It's only like $1 more a can. But I got the entire flag sprayed or primed and sprayed same day. And usually it's like spray the primer, wait for like a day for it to dry and all the way, and then sand it down and then spray your paint on top of that. Sprayed it, went inside, came back out a little while later just to check it. I'm like, holy shit, it's dry. Quick sanding,
okay.
boom, put paint on it.
Hold on. Give me the name of that paint again.
MTN,
Mountain.
the 94.
MTN 94. Spray paint near me.
You probably have to go to Spray Planet.
Sprayplanet.com or Home Depot.
Oh, it's at Home Depot?
Is it Montana spray paint?
I believe so, yeah.
It's coming up at Home Depot. But I don't know if it's in my store or not.
So they have a couple of different ones. They have like the hardcore one. They have, which is their gloss, and then they have like an acrylic thing.
All right, they have marble effect.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't say the 94 on it though, so
Then it
maybe
must
it's
not be. I think the brand name is just MTN.
okay. Damn clickbait
Yeah.
bullshit. So, all right.
And check your phone because I need to take a quick commercial break.
All right, we'll be back after this message from Surf Prep, which is just me saying Surf Prep rules. Buy a sander. If you want one, look at surfprepsanding.com. Enter code BOOK'em for 10% off your offer of your machines and your papers. Back after this. We should probably play a song. See if I have anything that's not. Oh, I have an idea. I'm going to play a song while we're waiting for Brandon. Just jamming some Three Doors Down.
There are worse bands to listen to.
Copyright infringement. Be damned. And I'm eating a banana.
Remember, banana to mouth, not mouth to banana.
What?
Huh? It's a very important thing you must teach your children.
Back off the mic a little bit, homie.
You back off the mic a little bit, homie.
So you could buy a sick. Oh, that hurt.
Ooh,
I
Mike's
just
having heart
swallowed.
palpitations.
I just swallowed some water the size of a 12-inch softball, I think. Oh my
Yeesh.
God, that hurt. So it looks like Spray Planet has that paint for like $7 a can.
Yeah.
Can you pick a bunch of different colors and have them ship? Okay.
They even sell cases that are, I got one that was like primary colors.
Okay. I'm in. I got to do
And
something.
you can go through and then you can actually select each one. I think I mentioned it last week. I ordered their swatch book that has every color they make in every finish. So
and they show 10% off your order if you put down your phone number.
Yep.
Have you done that?
I have.
Do they bother you with texts and stuff?
Nope. They send me texts when my order's been received, when it ships, and when it gets delivered.
All right. Well, I should order some now so it's on hand.
And
when I
they are
start running
super
out.
quick.
Okay. All right. Well, back to the show. Law enforcement stuff. Brandon, how was your week?
It was really long.
That's what she said.
It was really long.
Oh, wrong one.
You should really label those.
They are labeled if you want.
Oh, you just don't pay attention to them.
I just blindly push buttons.
I just go, meh.
They're all labeled.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So I have a recruit
Yeah.
who is in the plainclothes portion of
That's
training.
right. Yeah.
Where he is trying to prove that he should be on his own.
How's that going?
Better than expected.
Oh, because we were talking possibly having to go to CSO if it wasn't working out for him.
Yeah, so he had some officer safety issues, especially regarding suspicious people or people who would talk back or be dickheads. And it kind of started, I didn't get a good gauge of things the very first day because, so we go to this suspicious person with a weapon where somebody's saying, oh, my neighbor's outside and he's got a gun and he's cranking off rounds, which 99.9% of the time is usually just bullshit. It's just one neighbor being pissed off at the other one and saying he's got a gun just to get us there quicker. And
wait, people do that?
Yeah, you didn't know that people call 911 and exaggerate the issue?
I hadn't heard that before.
They try to get the police to get there quicker. So we're getting kind of set up and everything, and all of a sudden we hear a gunshot. I go,
what
shit.
Yikes.
So then the helicopter comes over.
I'm sorry, the what?
The helicopter. The chopper.
I don't know what you guys would do with just regular people in squad cars.
Right? It makes it a lot safer.
Yeah, it does.
So they're going through and it's like, yeah, there's a guy in the backyard and he's got something in his hand. And then all of a sudden you just hear the pilot go, I think he just pointed a gun at us.
That's like a movie thing.
Yeah, and then you go, and then the observer goes, yeah, I can't really tell because we're on FLIR, but I mean, that's definitely a shooting platform. He goes, we're going to go to a little bit higher altitude.
Yeah, because they can still see him if they're farther up, right? Their cameras can zoom in.
I think at one point they were at like 6,000 feet.
Wow.
And like their camera zooms in and like 8K and it's,
how many feet in a mile is it?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, continue.
I
want to
like
put
Google?
a reference on this so people can, tell how far away.
Okay, so regular airliners cruise at about 37,000 feet. They're at 6. They're up there.
Yeah.
It like high. I don't know what, like 1,300 feet in a mile, something like that.
So a pistol would never even get up there.
No, wouldn't get up there.
Yeah.
But they were at that time orbiting at probably about 100, 150 feet.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Which is very loud.
Yeah.
So at that point it was like, nope, sorry kid, you're along for the ride because of all the people at the scene, I was one of 2 that carries a rifle.
But you're also in plain clothes.
Yes, but I also wear my duty belt and my body armor just in case things like this happen because this is the 3rd recruit I've had go through the plainclothes phase with me. And let's see, the first one, we got into 2 authorized pursuits in one night. The second one, we went to a double stabbing downtown with virtually no resources citywide. And now this guy, and it's just been an entire week of shit. So I've gone from where I would just carry my gun and badge, and that was basically it, to where now I basically am just not wearing a uniform but still carry all my regular shit.
Good. Yeah, you need to. For sure.
So I grabbed my rifle and my plate carrier and helmet and all that stuff and tried to do the cool tactical guy approach. So basically our lieutenant that night is a former one of our former SWAT team commanders. He's like, all right, dude, take your boot and go set up on the front door of the house and just, watch for him. I'm like, oh, cool. Sweet. I get to babysit somebody and look for a guy with a gun. Sweet. Thanks, LT.
That's what you get.
I appreciate the confidence. So that guy, I think he barricaded for like 6 hours and then came out and was taken into custody. My buddy while we were set up, I called my buddy that's on our violent crime enforcement team as part of our special operations division. I was like, "Hey, dude, are you guys working today?" Like, yeah, why? He goes, Are you listening to like all the channels or just one? No, we're just listening to one of the channels on the east side of town. I go, okay, cool. I'm gonna need you to turn it to channel 6 and then just start coming this way, please. He's like, why? Because I got a dude with a gun that's barricaded. This is what you guys do. Get your ass over here.
Are they the SBT team?
The what now?
Hostage barricade. Call them SBT.
No, so it's not the equivalent of a SWAT team. It's
okay.
The way I kind of look or liken it is we have our SWAT team, and then this is like the feeder to that. This is like the minor league to that.
Okay.
So it's not like a full-blown SWAT call out, but these guys are there patrolling. They usually do gang enforcement or gang suppression stuff, but they receive a lot of the same tactical training that the SWAT team guys have. So they come out and they kind of assess it, and then they decide if it needs to be a full-blown callback or if they can handle it. And they can handle it. So
they showed up and they handled it?
Yeah, they helped us with the arrest team and all that while we took up more perimeter positions.
Did you guys have a negotiator show up and try and talk to him to get him out?
No.
Oh.
Our negotiator unit is like super small, and most of them are in.
Not as small as ours.
Is it you? Are you the unit?
No, we don't have one.
We have one. But it's like a collateral duty. So that's one that I was told that I should be put in for, and we'll see if that happens. But I'm not holding my breath as more and more time goes by. So, but no, we called in and said, hey, dummy, come outside. You go, okay. And then
don't shoot.
Yeah. And then we wrote a search warrant for the house, and sure enough, we found a gun.
He didn't flush it, or?
No, he tried to hide it in the attic, little attic space.
Okay.
So, I mean, not the smartest cookie in the world. And then the next day, what do we have the next day? Because we were there for a long time writing. I don't really remember what happened the next day. That's also because I have not had a lot of sleep.
Patrol. That's what happens.
That's going to bother me now. Oh, he had a DUI.
Oh, no. Didn't the rookie get his first gun off the street?
We're getting to that.
Oh, okay.
God, bless it, Mike.
Mike ruined the story.
Spoiler alert. But no, he had a DUI, which was great because he previously had a person that he arrested for DUI that challenged him, and he just completely shit the bed and let the suspect walk all over him, basically. So this guy tried to do the same thing, and he wasn't having it. Like, dude stood up multiple times while he's handcuffed, so he forced him to sit back down. He's acting super aggressive, and then demanded to, be taken out of handcuffs so he could go to the bathroom. And he goes, "No, dude, it's not safe to do that." And homeboy made the adult decision to pee his pants.
Nice. Sometimes they think that's going to work. They get them out of an arrest.
3 different times. But
wow.
The best thing was he was wearing like cowboy boots, and his jeans were over the top of the boot. So all this went into his boot. And then he goes to lift up his leg to like let the pee out of his boot. And I'm not joking when I say at least a pint of piss came out of his boot.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And I looked at my buddy that was with us, and I just went, "Das Boot."
Oh.
So he didn't take any shit from this guy, and it was very encouraging to see.
Oh, good.
And that brings us to Saturday night.
Saturday night's all right for fighting. I'm not going to play that song because I don't want to get completely banned.
Kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah. So what happened Saturday night?
So this kid's not big on the self-initiated stuff, which is frustrating because that's kind of
our job.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily our job. Our job is to answer 911 calls. And I tell all my recruits this. Our primary job is to answer 911 calls. However, one of the things that we pride ourselves on at our department is we go out there and we look for motherfuckers.
Well, I mean, that's our job. And
So,
we don't just answer calls. I mean, we have to
well, if you look
patrol
at the
and look for stuff.
basic primary job of your patrol officer is to, yes, patrol, be a presence and all that, but primarily is to answer the 911 calls. Like, that's the mission statement for patrol.
That's your mission statement. Well, I mean,
Says the guy that parks in a parking lot.
no, I'm saying part of your job is to answer 911 calls. Part of your job is to
Would you
patrol
not say
every
that
street.
that is?
Part of your
Would
job
you
is
not
to
say that that is the main focus of patrol is to answer 911 calls?
the main focus.
The main job of patrol.
I'm not going to, after my experience, no. I mean, that's, yes, someone calls 911, we have to go. That's why people know in their house when they need trouble, they call 911. They know we're going to be there. I guess if you were to break it down to the very minute tasks.
Yes, we're splitting hairs here.
Right. Then that, yes. Because people, they don't pick up their phone and dial 611 for a carpenter. They dial 911 for a police officer. We're supposed to show up. So in a caveman type of thinking.
And
Yeah, no.
If
Yeah,
you
right,
break
you're
down
right.
all of your job, right?
Main purpose, be there for people when they need us.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I can see that point.
Another part of that is, yes, we go out and we look for mother truckers to take to jail.
Right. Yeah. And prevent people.
So that maybe we don't have to go to a 911 call.
Right. Yeah.
We take the paper on our terms.
We own the night. So we just show up, you roll up, you're drinking on your porch. We bring you in so you don't shoot anybody. Oh, wait, that was a TV show on HBO.
Well, it depends on what they're drinking. If they're drinking like Busch Light or something, we're going to prevent a DV and we're just going to take you to jail.
Drink a real beer, for goodness sake.
And if they're wearing a wife beater, we're definitely taking you.
Yeah.
So
Saturday night.
And then when he does go out and he patrols, he typically patrols low crime areas and very well off areas. And multiple times has had an FTO, mainly me or my buddy, look at him and go, "We are not doing this."
Yeah, go to the bad towns, part of town, where they need us most, then we can get people off the street.
Yeah, go to the neighborhoods that get shot up. That's where we should be. So, without any prompting, he decided to go to the seedier part of our radio channel. And he sees this car with expired registration. And this kid will not stand for people driving with expired registration.
Just can't do this anymore. He
will not tolerate that.
Because he's a rookie.
Yeah, because it's the easiest
probable cause.
Expired reg, pulling your ass over.
Yeah.
So
same everywhere.
He lights his car up and it starts to slow roll. And I have a considerable amount of training and experience, and I am knowledgeable of the areas of the city and of the gangs that operate within the city. And I see 3 heads in the car. And I see indicia
movements.
I see indicia of gang affiliation. And then I am erect.
Oh boy.
Because I like gang shit. I think I sent you a text that night morning when I got home. Like, dude, I forgot how much I love gang shit.
Yeah.
But it is fun. So okay, let's see what happens. Like, they're slow rolling for like a good half mile. I'm like, oh, these guys are going to foot bail. Like, oh man, I better start stretching now.
There they go.
Because it's cold and I'm going to take off and I'm going to pop a hammy. Like, all right, here we go. And they pull off into the side street. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like texting buddies. I'm like, they're going to run. And then they just stopped.
Wow.
Like, the car stopped and I popped the door. I'm like, yes, let's go. Oh, shit, they're going to stay in the car. All right. Well, that's weird.
A surprise.
So he goes up there. He gets everybody's name, IDs, and all this stuff. Goes back to our car, starts running people out, and like, nobody's on probation. That's odd.
What kind of gang member is this?
What the hell kind of guys are you? Come on. So I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, I want to get into the car. And then as I'm starting to like lay out for him all the different gang shit I see, my phone rings. And it's the same buddy I called from our violent crime enforcement team. I'm like, that's weird. Why is he calling me? Answer the phone. No hello, no nothing. He goes, there is 110% a gun in that car. Wait, what? He goes, yeah, one of the dipshits in the car is posting to Instagram or posted to Instagram your stop, and earlier was posting with a gun. He goes, there is a gun in that car. Like,
Wow.
okay. All right, cool. Trying to think of how I can articulate you just calling me out of the blue and telling me that without making you cut a supplemental report. I'm going to try to take care of you. So I'm like, all right, cool. Stand by. Let me call a couple other people over to this car stop. So I call all my buddies over and I go, look, I pull the rookie aside. I go, look, we are going to pull everybody out of this car. Because I trust this guy. If he says there's a gun in the car, there's a gun in the car. So we pull everybody out. And best part about it, the rear passenger has one arm.
He's a one-armed man.
He's the
one-armed
one-armed
bandit.
man. You want to know how he lost his hand? M80.
An M80.
M80.
Nice.
Fuse didn't go off when it was supposed to.
Wow.
You want to know his street name now?
One arm.
Nibbles.
Nibbles.
Because he's got little nibbles for fingers now.
Shouldn't it be Nubs?
Well, no, because he's just got, like, they look like little niblets.
Okay. Nibbles.
So his buddy started calling him Nibbles. And that's now his street name.
Do you have a street name? Because I have one.
I don't have one.
Right.
What's your street name?
Mixed fruit jelly.
It's not the coolest one ever.
It's MF. It's MFJ.
Yeah. So as they're pulling out the one-armed man,
the one-armed man did it.
It's a 2-seat. I don't care. The front seat has to go forward because it's just a 2-door.
He switched to samples. It was Provasic. Sorry. Okay, so it's a 2-door coupe.
Yeah, so it's a 2-door.
Okay.
Seat goes forward.
Right.
And lean forward so he can come out. And in plain view, we see a Quetta.
Next to the flashlight.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
My wife,
because it had a light. It had a light on the gun.
Right. My wife thought you put that flashlight there for scale, and I'm like, they're not putting their own flashlight with their DNA on it next to a gun they find on the floor of some car. How stupid are you? Anyways, that's for another.
Okay, people don't think like that.
Yeah. I like the fact that she was trying to think of scale. You know, that's good.
You know,
I give her credit for that.
Yeah. So pull him out of the car, or pull everyone out of the car, get everyone handcuffed. Like, call my buddy back and go, yep, you're right. There's a gun in the car. You can hear his whole team in the background just like cheering. He goes, get a great ID on that kid because he is under the age of 18. Therefore, and for some reason in our county, juvenile hall doesn't talk with us. So we don't get a lot of these juvenile returns. So we don't get pictures. We don't get fingerprints.
Oh, okay.
So what we do is it used to be fully staffed, but right now it's just a big empty room. We have a pre-processing center. So what people should do in our agency when they arrest a juvenile is take them down to the juvenile pre-processing center and fingerprint and photograph them. That way, when we get fingerprint hits, we get a picture that goes with it.
Right.
So we actually did things the right way. We took them down there. We did all that stuff, and I'm just waiting.
All three of them, right?
No, not all three. There was only one juvenile in the car. Driver,
okay.
We couldn't articulate possession of the firearm because he would have had to reach back, down, and under.
Okay.
Which would have been a stretch. But with adult in the backseat admitted to knowledge of the firearm in the car, and then directly under the front passenger seat, who is also the cousin of the gang member that was murdered last week.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah. So they'll have the RIP and the dude's freaking name. And
they already have it?
Oh, yeah. He's already on a t-shirt, dude. It's been a week. It's plenty of time to get stuff screen printed.
Printful.
Yeah. They probably went to either, probably not Printful, maybe
Vistaprint.
Or what's the other one?
1 hour teas.
No, there's one that's like ink something or other. It's not Inkscape. That's the freaking program.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. It'll bug me. I still get like emails from them, but like you can design your own t-shirts and stuff. It's similar to Printful, but like not for selling, more for like, hey, our organization is going to have some t-shirts and shit.
Right.
So that was really, really fun.
Was he wearing the shirt?
Yes, of course he was. He had the dude's fucking name tattooed on his neck.
That I heard, but I didn't know if he was wearing the
RIP's
T-shirt.
Yes, he had that like around his neck. They all were wearing like these little lanyards with his fucking picture on him, like. And of course,
Poured out a 40.
Yeah, I give the kid, he's 15. I gave him credit. I've had a lot of people lie to me, and I've had a lot of people give me fake names. This kid is the smoothest person I've ever had give me a fake name.
He's a smooth criminal. When
He was smooth.
Jackson said
he had the name, he had the date of birth ready to go. He answered to the name. I had to ask him like 2-3 different times for the date of birth just because I don't have my notepad on me when I'm in plain clothes. So like, what was the date of birth again? And he was able to spit it out every single time. But then we got down to our pre-processing center. He goes, "Oh, fuck." Like, what? He goes, "All right, you guys are going to figure it out anyways. My real name is this." Oh, okay. My buddy runs it and calls me while we're getting ready to book him into juvenile hall. And he goes, "Hey, dude, he also has a felony warrant at a juvenile hall for a probation violation. He was arrested in October with a gun." All right, fair enough. And this gun, I've seen a lot of gangster guns. This one was the most well taken care of.
maintained. Yeah.
He had some nice stippling in the handle. It was oiled, and it's the cleanest barrel I've ever seen.
So you're saying he was smooth?
He was smooth. And we're dinging.
It's the dinging episode. Who the hell cares anymore? I don't really care.
Who cares?
That
We're
was
not getting-
Smooth by
you choose
Santana
something.
featuring Rob Thomas. I was going to play the Fresh Prince, The Boy is Smooth. This
Oh,
boy
I thought
is
you were
smooth.
going to play Smooth Criminal.
I couldn't find it. I don't have it on my phone, apparently.
That's a
That's
bummer.
it.
You could probably find it on YouTube.
Well, I was cool and sitting by the phone waiting for a ring with a female voice or a date or an invitation.
For those of you that are
mingling.
audio-only listeners, this is one to watch on YouTube. You can watch Mike dance in the whitest manner possible.
Nervous, baby, relax. FB at your service. The girl spoke up and her voice sounded
Okay. Back to the show. Sorry, I'm just having fun today. I don't know why. So
And of course this happens like towards the end of the shift, and he's already down a sexual assault report. So by the time
you
we
guys
finish,
have to stay and write all that stuff up before you leave. You don't carry anything over till the next shift, right?
well, it was also our Friday.
Oh, right. Okay. So you can't.
One, he's in custody, so we absolutely have to write that.
Right.
And then two, the other one is a major felony crime that we have to write before we go home.
Right. Yeah.
And technically per our duty manual, we shall finish our reports before we go home unless we receive supervisor approval, which is usually fine for like misdemeanor or just information reports that aren't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
But when it's a rape and a in custody gun case, yeah, you got to finish those. So by the time we started writing, it was like almost 3 a.m.
And you work till 1.
Yeah. And then, normally you would have somebody else like do all the booking for you so you can go start writing. Like maybe somebody who's not going to write on this.
Like a friend would come in and help you with
like, hey, dude, can you book this guy?
Right,
Can you book the evidence? I'm going to go start writing this.
Yeah.
And you share the load.
But not when you have a rookie, you don't.
But when you have a rookie who hasn't done a lot of the stuff, it's like, fuck, dude, we got to like, he had never booked a gun. He'd never booked a gun for DNA. He had never taken anybody to the pre-processing center, and he had never booked somebody in juvenile hall. I'm like, well, we're going to click off all 4 of those.
Right. You got to.
Yeah. So as much as I hated doing it, I'm like, fuck, we got to do this. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to suck. After we book him in the juvenile hall, we're going to go to 7-Eleven and get some energy drinks.
Nice.
Maybe a little cocaine. Who knows?
Yeah. Pick up a hooker.
Well, no, I mean, we need to stay awake and do this quickly. That's for after when we're
celebrating. Okay.
But no, I don't think I left until about 5:30.
Oh, Wow.
So I waited until like his last report, like he had one correction to make. I'm like, I believe you can make that correction on your own. I'm like, I would leave now
Nice.
so that I don't crash on the way home and die.
Yeah.
And then you have to live with that guilt.
You drive so far. You do. Is it
There's
an hour drive?
45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, then that's okay.
It's not bad, but there's construction on the main road into town, so you have to take all these back roads until I think today. I think last day of construction's today,
Oh, good.
and then we can start using the road again. But yeah, that was one it was worth staying till 6:30 to take care of. So he's got one more week to not shit the bed, and then he'll be on his own.
Sounds like he actually took in what you guys were trying to tell him over the time and starting to apply it.
Yeah, that's why I told him, I go, look, it sounds like what we were starting to scream at you kind of took, and you really worked on fixing these issues. Because I told him, I go, look, I'm confident that you can handle, or you can do this job on your own now. Because I was like, I'll be honest with you, when you came back to me, I was not sure that you were going to be getting signed off. So, but now I don't really have many issues. As long as he just keeps doing the thing he's doing. So one more week and then I get my car back.
Woo!
And
Hey, one more week, I'll get my car back, and we'll both be in our own cars by ourselves.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
Of course, many different hours apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be the same, but different.
Right.
So Mike, how many hit and run cases did you solve this week? Because it seems like that's the main thing that you guys investigate.
No, well, unfortunately, is the guy who's just filling in. I get to ride along with the other guys that are going to go pick up shit bags, and then they just hand me a few small cases to knock out of the way, quickly. So
it's fun to go on apprehensions.
Yeah, we actually we had to go into the city to go look for a battery suspect, and Kevin's been chasing this guy down for months.
So was this battery suspect charged?
Well, I'm getting there. Oh, yes.
You have no clue how proud of myself I am right now.
That's a good one. See, people watch assault and battery, or like New York cop shows, and they think assault and battery is one thing when it's so. Anyway, this guy punched somebody, so it's a battery.
Good for him.
Kevin's been chasing him down for a while. So he's like, hey, and one thing about me, when Kevin says to me, hey, let's go look for this person, because he's tried numerous times, on the few occasions I've gone out with him, one time we caught the kid in a hit and run that he did. I had on video, and he was in his garage taking the front end off his car. Caught him doing that. Like, we roll to the house, and we have no hard fact that it was him. We just have a picture of the car. We don't know who was driving it. And we show up, and it's in Chicago, and the garage is detached in the back. So we look through the front, pull up in the front of the house, go around through the alley. The garage doors are closed, the big door, and then the man door is closed. We go back around, go to the front, get out, ring the doorbell. It's a Ring camera. Okay, no one answers. We get back in the car, drive around the corner. We see the man door to the garage is open. And I go, the door's open, the window's on. The lights are on inside. So Kevin goes, take your phone, put it over the fence. I'm putting my phone over the fence so I can see inside the garage, And I'm like, there's a silver SUV in there. That's the car. So he pounds on the door. It's your neighbors. Okay. Come to the side door. So
housekeeping.
Housekeeping. He sticks his head out the door. I go, open the fucking door. Well, he opens a big garage door. He's got the whole front of the car off, whole front end off. And his buddy's helping him replace parts. So anyways, in another case, we were looking for a woman. We show up, random time. I mean, just show up at like 11 o'clock in the morning. She's walking out to our mailbox. We grab her. I mean, this is what happens when I'm with Kevin. So Kevin's like, we're going to go look for this guy. I'm like, all right, cool. I go, you know what happens every time I'm with you? We end up finding these people. Just randomly find them. So we tell Frank's with us too. And we roll out to the near west side of Chicago. And we get to the 3-flat apartment building, and there's no names on the doorbells in the front. So we go to the side door through a fenced yard, and there's a muddy, grassy area and a dog lead that leads to the door. So maybe a 15-foot dog lead.
Yeah.
And Frank says, look out for a dog, you know? So we ring the doorbell and we're standing on the side of the building for like, I don't know, 2 minutes. And we look to our left towards the front of the street. And here comes some guy. He's walking a Pitbull and he sees us. Kevin goes, hey, and yells his name. And the guy lets the Pitbull off the lead and pushes it towards us. So
that sounds like he assaulted you.
He sent the dog after us. Luckily, the dog's like, oh, people, you know, thank God.
I love
I like reached for my weapon and the dog's like, and it's freezing outside.
Shoot that fucking dog.
And I'm like that, you know? And then she comes running up to me and he runs in the fucking apartment and slams the front door.
Oh,
He locks himself in the apartment as Kevin's, you know, yelling, chasing him. Because we had to come out of the fenced area where the dog was coming into. So make it around, the guy's locked in. So we're pounding on the door. I've got the dog. I grab the collar and I'm petting the dog. And we're outside for like 3 minutes before some effing C comes. That's a female. See you next Tuesday comes outside and she's got no shoes on.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a good one. So she stands up, she opens the door and goes, give me my effing dog. You can't touch my dog. That's a service dog. I'm on Zoom court right now. She's in court. She's on the phone on Zoom court.
That's awesome.
Some bullshit. And she's yelling at us to let go of her dog. And she starts coming towards me because I have the dog and she's got a leash in her hands.
Oh, that's the wrong answer.
Kevin and Frank are right in front of her like a wall like this. And she's yelling, you effing pigs. And he's like, F you, C word. Tell your pussy brother to come outside and man up. And this is going on. People are stopping on the street, videotaping us. We're in Chicago. Frank goes, fuck this. I'm calling Chicago. Call dispatch, let Chicago know we're out here. Yeah. Within 3 minutes, 2 gang task force squads and 3 regular Chicago squads come flying up. And they all jump out and like, what's going on? I'm petting a dog. This see you next Tuesday's yelling at Frank. Frank's yelling at her. You're a fucking whore. I'm in back. She says, I got a camera. I was like, good, because you look like a fucking whore. And blah, 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 blah. I'm just going absolutely crazy. 45 minutes.
It doesn't seem like you guys really do a lot of community policing.
It's Chicago. We don't need to do any community policing. Man. Fuck them.
I know.
That's
Chicago. The great thing about like high crime areas and shit like that is like you can get away with just motherfucking people.
Especially when it's not in your own jurisdiction.
Yeah, it's true. I'm gonna call IA.
Right. Good. She's like, I want a sergeant here. And Frank goes, our sergeant ain't coming here. Yeah, and then Chicago goes, we got a boss coming. So she's like, they've got my dog. And the Chicago guy who's got a camera on goes, shut the fuck up. You'll get your dog when you get your dog. The boss is coming. I'm like, all right, Chicago.
I like you guys.
Boss shows up. He's like, hey, is Steve Lee still working with you guys? Like, no, man, he retired last year. I was like, oh, man, I used to work in Howard Heights. You know, I know Steve from way back. What's going on? And we tell him. And I'm looking at Kevin. I'm like, we can't keep this dog. We're like holding the dog prisoner for her to get her brother out. Yeah, well.
Put a gun to the dog's head. Tell your brother to come out or the dog gets it.
And she's now her feet are soaking wet because she was no shoes on. She's trying to walk in the snowy grass to come after me to get the dog. And while she's still on the phone with court. And then she starts yelling, I have no bra on. My feet are cold. We're like, go inside and get your brother.
Hanging out.
Yeah. Oh my God, disgusting. So Chicago says, you're not getting your dog back till you can prove that you've got rabies shots. They're going to make her do the whole thing.
Hey,
right?
Is your dog licensed?
Right. And then so they're like, go back inside and get that shit and we'll figure it out and get your brother out here. She's like, I'm not getting my brother out here. So she goes in the house to get her paperwork. And Chicago had people on the back of the building. They saw the guy shutting the blinds. So they're like, he's in there. I'm like, we know he's in there. Cop goes, got any warrants? And Kevin goes, I don't know. Kevin forgot to run him before we left.
Oh, yeah, I should do that.
So he runs to the car. We run him. He's got 3 warrants, one with Chicago. But it's just like a theft warrant. It's got a DUI warrant and a battery warrant.
Sounds good enough to me.
No felony warrants.
Warrant's a warrant, man. A magistrate has commanded you to bring him.
Chicago goes, we can't go in without a felony warrant. Yeah,
you're
we
not gonna
and
kick
we
the
can't
floor.
because ours is a DOI warrant, so we can't go in. Chicago goes, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna fucking sit on the house. He's got to come out at some point. Then we'll get him for our warrant. Fuck this guy. Like, okay. So we end up. Kevin writes him a ticket, a local ordinance citation for fighting, and just throws it in the mailbox, and we fucking leave and close the case. The case closed. Piece of shit. But oh my God, that was so. While we were in the city, then we went down to Humble Park, which is a shit area, and looked for 2 more cars. Didn't find them. And then we stopped at a place called Smoke Barbecue on the way back for lunch, which is the last time I was only been
The most important part of detective work.
That's it. Well, I was only there one time. It was like 6 years ago when I left Sycamore and I came back to this city. I had to get a new vest,
Yeah.
So my buddy Mike out in Sycamore, he needed to get a new vest at the same time. And we have the carriers, outside carriers that we wear are made at 2 different places in the city. So Mike had said, hey, I want to go with me like 6 years ago. And then we're going to go to this place called Smoke Barbecue. I'm like, yeah. So I tried it then. So I'm walking in this day. I'm like taking a picture of the building. I'm sending it to Mike. I'm like, look where I'm at. He's like, you dick.
You son of a bitch.
Shit. So we had a good lunch. That was that day. And 2 more quick things. We went to go talk to a father whose kid was posting on Instagram, I think, pictures of him shooting a gun off. Kid lives in town. He's pointing a gun at the camera. He's posting videos of himself shooting a gun. So we wanted to get to the kid and see if get in the house and see if he's got the gun. So we cruised over by him, and Kevin had called him and said, hey, I'm going to come by. Dad's like, yeah, come on by. And we 3 show up, and he's like, well, you're rolling 3 deep? I'm like,
Yes.
I said, listen, we didn't plan on coming here. I like to de-escalate it, right? We just happen to be we decided to stop in. We got nothing to do with you and your son. But we weren't able to locate a weapon in that case yet. They're still working that one. And we are in contract talks for a new contract with the village. So we've had a few meetings. We had our first meeting with the village. They said, fuck you to almost everything. The village manager has stated
As the city does.
right. The city manager has stated that we only work 25% of the time. And he now wants everyone in patrol to document everything you do all day. So we don't know how this is going to go. That's a fight we got coming up.
Can't he just pull computer records? Like that's
Well,
all
they get
documented, right?
they get call volumes and stuff, but he wants to know what we're doing in between our calls, like when we're on patrol, driving around town all day, all that stuff. He wants all that documented.
Proactive patrol.
Yeah. So this is a fight we're going to have to be dealing with coming up soon. And I just want to real quick. We went to the state lab,
But you want to know what happens if you drive around more? They're going to bitch that you're putting too much wear and tear on the vehicles.
Course. Our chief years ago would tell us, like my buddy Chris, who runs he got injured on duty, so he's now disability out, but he runs our property room and stuff. So Chris used to put on 100 miles a night, which in our town is extreme. Yeah.
It's a lot for our town.
The boss would tell him, you're driving too much. The chances of you getting in an accident are exponentially greater with you driving 100 miles.
Yeah.
But that's the same guy now that wants us to start documenting what we're doing. But whatever. 2 things. Went with Chris and Kevin down to the state crime lab. So Illinois State Police has a crime lab in the city, and they do most of our processing for our big evidence stuff, So Chris brought a gun that was my case back in I want to say 2005 or 6 or something, where the woman and the boyfriend, the husband, I think it was boyfriend, he was an Army vet. He had a lot of guns in the house, and he was suffering from PTSD. So he used to play a game with her where he would take one of his weapons, pistol normally, empty, put it in her hand. They'd sit face to face on the floor, and he'd say, if you love me, you'd pull the trigger. Show me you love me, pull the trigger. She would do it. The last time she did it, it was loaded.
Oh, shit.
Shot him in the head. This was New Year's Eve. It had to be 06-ish, somewhere around there. It was my call. And then, we have a major crime task force.
Yeah.
that I was part of. But my boss at that time, who's now retired, said to me, "You can handle this whole scene by yourself."
You're good.
And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" The whole scene. Process the whole scene, everything all by myself. Like, whatever. She did 3 years. She admitted to everything. She only did 3 years for, I think it was involuntary manslaughter or whatever. She's out. But the gun was never sent to the lab for ballistics or other possible crimes.
Yeah.
So Chris found it. That wasn't his job at the time. He was still on patrol. So he found it buried in a case somewhere, property room, and sent it. So that's why we went there, to go pick that gun up and then drop off some, like a DUI kit or something. But while I was there, started talking with the girls that work there. Very, very nice women. I want to give them a shout out because we were bullshitting with them, and they found out that we have a podcast. And she's like, "No way! What's the name of the podcast?" I'm like, "Handcuffs and Sawdust." So she goes right on YouTube.
We love podcasts.
Brings it up, and the girls, I want to say hello to, are Millie and Karen and Shatoya and Michonne. They work at the intake. One of them's an ET, and one of them was telling me a story about. She goes, "You see that video with the woman who killed her boyfriend in a suitcase in Florida?" I don't know if you've seen this.
No.
But okay, so I'm going to give everyone the name and you can Google it on your own. Sarah Boone in Florida. Okay, that's the offender's name is Sarah Boone.
Boone?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this happens in Florida. She finds out that her boyfriend's cheating on her or whatever. They're sitting around drinking. She films. She's like, "I want to play a game. Let's put each other in a suitcase. And then, I'll let you out." So, okay. So
sounds like a good idea, baby.
I'll go first. So he goes in a suitcase and she zips it. And now she films from across the room him calling for help, saying he can't breathe. And she's like, "That's what it felt like when you were cheating on me, blah, blah, blah." And then she fucking leaves him in there and he suffocates and dies. So then she calls the police and says, "Oh, we were playing hide and seek." I swear to God, we were playing hide and seek.
We don't catch the smart ones, folks.
He's not responding. So anyways,
I can't find him.
Watch the video, man. It's fucking traumatizing. This woman is just watching him die in a suitcase because he can't breathe, and she's okay with it. And anyway, so that's the girls, Millie, Karen, Shatoya, and Michonne showed me that video. Jeez. And just wanted to give them a shout out for showing me there's disgusting acts all over the world, not just where I live.
Florida man ain't got shit on Florida woman.
Right? Man, that's bad.
Hell hath no fury.
Yeah. So, and one last thing. As I was eating lunch or dinner, whatever the hell it was on Friday, my last day of the week, with my the shift I'm going to, they were on. So I was hanging out with them and we were eating. And I was picking my vacation days. And they start talking about future detectives. And one of my buddies goes, "That's going to be this guy." And then the boss, sergeant, goes, "No, it's going to be this guy." And I'm sitting right with him. I go,
"I'm right here, guys."
That's what I said to him. I'm going, "I'm fucking sitting right here. What the hell?" And they're like, "Well, I'm saying, who's saying this? Why? What? I'm here. I'm already here. I'm doing the job. You're talking about a future, but I'm right here." And they're like, "So-and-so said it, or so-and-so said it." And I'm like, "All right, well, I guess I'm glad I'm going back to patrol because I can see how much, of an impression.
How much you're valued.
Yeah. So hence Netflix in a parking lot, Brandon. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So we have the Officer Down Memorial page. I think there's 4 officers since last week. So let's get to that bad shit, shall we? Oh, damn. Oh, good. Shut off. I hit the news button. This just in. From the McKeesport Police Department in Pennsylvania, police officer Sean L. Slugansky. End of watch was Monday, February 6th, 2023. Police officer Sean Saglansky was shot and killed while responding to a domestic situation at the 1300 block of Grandview Avenue in McKeesport. The subject's mother called 911, reporting that her son was having a PTSD episode and was being aggressive. Officer Slagansky and other officers arrived on scene and attempted to contact the man as he walked away. The subject produced a handgun and opened fire, wounding both officers. The subject was shot in the leg by return gunfire and then fled to a nearby convenience store where he exchanged shots with a third officer before being taken into custody. Officer Saglansky was taken to a local hospital where he succumbed to his wounds. The other officer was critically wounded and flown to a trauma center. The subject was charged with criminal homicide, aggravated assault, assaulting a law enforcement officer, and criminal attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. Officer Slagansky had served with the McKeesport Police Department for 3 years and previously served with the Charleroi Regional Police Department. He is survived by his fiancée and infant daughter. He was 32 years old. Milwaukee Police Department in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Police Officer Peter E.C. Jerving. His end of watch was Tuesday, February 7th. Police Officer Peter Jerving was shot and killed while attempting to arrest a robbery suspect at 1:16 a.m. near the 2700 block of South 14th Street. Officers were looking for a suspect who had just committed a robbery at a nearby apartment building. The suspect fled on foot as officers approached him. Once one officer caught the subject and a struggle ensued. The subject fired his handgun and it struck Officer Jerving, who was running to the scene to assist. Despite being wounded, Officer Jerving was able to return fire and killed the subject. Officer Jerving was transported to Frodtert Hospital, where he succumbed to his wounds. The subject had been sentenced to probation for 2 hit-and-run crashes the day before. Officer Jerving has served with the Milwaukee Police Department for 4 years and was assigned to Police District 4. He is survived by his parents, 6 siblings, longtime girlfriend. He was 37 years old. From the Pembroke Pines Police Department in Florida, Police Officer Charles Herring. Police Officer Charles Herring's end of watch was Thursday, February 9th, 2023. He was killed in a motorcycle crash near the intersection of 184th Avenue and Sheridan Street. He was on routine patrol when a falling piece of a tree fell and struck him. The impact caused him to fall from his motorcycle. He was transported to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Officer Herring was a U.S. Army veteran and had served with the Pembroke Pines Police Department for 21 years. He had previously served with the Stark Police Department for 3 years. He is survived by his 4 children. He's 54 years old. And from the Fountain Police Department in Colorado, Police Officer Julian Becerra, whose end of watch was Saturday, February 11th, 2023. Police Officer Julian Becerra succumbed to his injuries sustained 9 days earlier when he fell from an overpass in Colorado Springs during a vehicle pursuit of carjacking suspects. The suspects had been pursued by multiple agencies over the course of several hours. At about 7:15 p.m., they attempted to carjack a second vehicle at the Love's Travel Plaza in Fountain and led officers on another pursuit towards Colorado Springs. The vehicle was partially disabled after stop sticks were deployed as it exited I-25 to South Academy Boulevard. The vehicle was stopped just east of Hartford Street, and all 3 occupants fled on foot, with officers in pursuit. Officer Becerra was chasing one of the suspects when he fell from an overpass to the pavement, approximately 40 feet below. He was transported to a local hospital where he remained until succumbing to his injuries on February 11th, 2023. All 3 suspects were apprehended. Officer Becerra was a U.S. Air Force veteran. He had served with the Fountain Police Department for 4.5 years and was assigned to the K-9 unit. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. His age is not available. Any dogs? No dogs.
No dogs.
Okay.
Small victories.
Yeah, I guess we need to take them today. Fucking falling 40 feet to your death chasing some
Oh,
shitbags.
man. 40 feet, like that's a...
That's 4 stories.
Yeah, well, no, I'm thinking like the time it takes to drop the 40 feet. Like that's got to just be...
Not good.
No. Because you got
Just-
time to think about it.
That's just terror. Wondering how you're going to land. Should you
Yeah.
roll? I mean, what position was your body in as you're falling? You know what I mean? Jesus fuck. All right.
All right, everybody, go be sad now.
What the hell?
We are on it today.
Okay. And this show went longer than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, remember what we were talking about before?
Short
Like,
show.
it was going to be short and all that shit.
Well,
Get
we tried. We get involved in our stuff and we need to
excited.
pace ourselves and tell like 1 story a week, 2 stories max.
Well, this was an eventful week for me. I had a lot. The thing I couldn't remember, it wasn't the DUI. There was a shooting too.
Oh. That was that about?
A couple guys got drunk in a bar and started shooting.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, my guy just got stuck doing all the evidence collection though.
Is he an ET?
No,
Does he want to be an ET?
I don't know.
So you have someone not being an ET that's collecting? All right.
We don't have specific like evidence cars that come out and collect evidence. We're all trained in evidence collection.
Are you all state certified evidence technicians? No.
We're all certified in the collection of evidence.
Not answering my question. California's so weird, dude. I don't know what
I know, we just do shit. It's like, no, you don't have to be specialized to like lift a fingerprint. You can
Well,
just,
here you
you
do.
could just lift the fingerprint.
You have to be state certified. Here.
That's part of just being a cop here.
Okay.
Like you have a whole like 40 weeks of training in just evidence collection. Like we can collect DNA. Like just by being certified as a cop, you've been trained in the collection of DNA.
In California.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be state certified evidence technician here.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Everything's stupid. A lot of things stupid.
Everything's
fact
fine.
that-
We're fine. It's fine.
The fact that we don't have a uniformed criminal code is stupid, in my opinion.
Well, no, that makes sense because each state is different.
Which is
Right?
stupid.
That's that whole separation between federal government and state local government.
I know.
Kind of the basis that this country was founded on. Like, hey, one particular set of things is not going to work for people over here and here.
We'll do what we want. You do what you
Do what
want.
you want.
Right.
And then there's like a couple of things that we can all kind of agree on that are probably no-nos.
Right. We got to meet in the middle there. So thanks to Surf Prep for sponsoring yet another episode. Season 3 sponsor Surf Prep. Where do they go if they want to get something from Surf Prep, Brandon?
surfprepsanding.com.
And what is
Promo
the code?
Would you just let me? Would you just let me? Use promo code BOOK'em. For what is it? 10% off?
10% off.
10%.
Pretty good.
Off. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is. You know where I got Book'em from, right?
Book'em, Dano.
Yeah. Not the new show, which I couldn't stand. The old original Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah. Even though neither one of us works in Hawaii.
No, I still like to say Book'em, though.
I do use that.
Yeah. I try to as much as I can.
I'm waiting to work with a guy named Dan, and I can just say,
Yeah.
Dano.
Dano. I actually work
I'm
with
still-
Danny.
I'm still waiting to have a lieutenant named Dan so I can go, Lieutenant Dan, I brought you
Lieutenant
ice cream.
Dan. Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan. I don't
It's
have
really nice having a mute button on this microphone when I got a cough.
Yeah, it's great. You didn't have one before, did you?
No, I'd have to turn the gain all the way down.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
not
then
right.
I'd have to turn it all the way back to where it was and try to remember.
That's not a good thing. Gotta love the mute button. Sometimes I wish people had them. You just walk up and go,
Boop. You don't get to talk anymore. Although, if you do go up to somebody and go, boop, they stop talking.
I'm gonna have to try that. But then I've just battered somebody.
But then they sometimes will throw a punch. So
That's a
be
battery.
ready. If you're going to boop somebody,
In
you
Illinois.
better be ready.
It's unwanted, unprovoked touching. You can't do that. That's a battery.
I mean, if you're biting your lip, it's sexual battery. Because
Really?
then there's a sexual component. You're like, whoa.
What if I'm biting my lip and rubbing a nipple at the same time?
That's still sexual battery.
Okay. Need some of that, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to get ready to edit this podcast. I was supposed to go to Menards today and get plywood and poplar and then 2 sheets of maple plywood, 4x8, 1/2 inch, cut it down to sizing for this project for the,
For the
closet 5-drawer organizer thing. And I got none of the wood. So
yeah, it happens.
I'm not off again until next weekend and only Saturday, Sunday. Because I go back on the street Monday, so I only have a 2 days off coming up at the end of the week.
That sucks.
So it'll be Saturday, run early in the morning to Menards, and then I have to hopefully
I
cut
thought you
some of
could
that.
run like you were going to exercise.
Well, I want to do that when it gets warmer. Got new shoes. And I bought some, I say when it gets warmer, yet I bought some winter running gear. But now it's not winter. It's like, being 48 degrees outside, so I might be too sweaty. All right. Well, what do you got coming up this week? Anything at work special?
Just more plainclothes shit.
Plainclothes
So
shit.
in theory, I shouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah, that went well this week.
Yeah, that didn't happen at all.
Good luck with that. All right. I'll live my last week in detectives apparently ever.
Yeah, because you ain't going to be that guy.
Ain't going to be me. So whatever you
Send
do.
questions to handcuffs&sawdustpodcast at gmail.com.
And be safe on the street and in the shop.
Okay, bye.
Peace. And scene.